conference season makes you more prepared. That being said, should be a good matchup today. Game 2 of this series, as you know, you were talking about earlier. Purdue versus Michigan first matchup was a bit of an offensive explosion. Michigan hoping to ride those bats again today to keep their record against Purdue perfect. Obviously, Purdue hoping to have a bit more action in the box today. Facing off against Gabby Ellis for the Wolverines, who's got a 2.89 ERA so far this season, had some great appearances. Michigan's hoping to lean on Ellis a bit more as they get into conference play so that, obviously they have a second arm they can go to, really balanced off well. She's a more experienced arm on this staff, transfer from Mercer, played there 2 seasons, 24 and 25. She was a durable starter there at Mercer, but the jump in competition going from mid-major play to, one of the premier conferences in college softball behind the SEC and the Big Ten is extremely challenging, and a lot of arms get lost in that transition.
Yeah, Michigan's also one of those teams that kind of likes to grow their players themselves. They don't usually go out and find transfers, but they went out and found a transfer in Gabby Ellis. On the other side, the Boilermakers have, I believe, 4 transfers on the lineup today. So definitely a team that, is not afraid to go out and find some girls to come and make a full team. But the Wolverines, and you can even see it with Bonnie Thole and her experience with the Wolverines, she likes to kind of make the player who they are, and they might have to sit on the bench for a year or two, but eventually they kind of develop them into what they are now.
Yeah, Bonnie Thole, started her career as an assistant coach under Hutch, was in charge of recruiting for a long, long time. She's been at on the staff for almost 30 years now, and that's where she made her money, where she hung her hat, was recruiting hitters. Got the Michigan offense just clicking year after year.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, she's known for her offensive production. Every year consistently, the offense has been batting as a team over 300, and that's where you want to be, over 300. That's the sweet spot. If you're, a little under 300, that's not too bad, but over 300, you're solid, and she keeps the team's batting average above that.
Yeah, definitely. And then, in comparison, this Purdue lineup so far this season has been a little top-heavy, to be completely honest.
Agreed.
Not exactly the depth that you're going to find as compared to these Michigan bats, but, up at the top, it's a combination as deadly as anyone has in the Big Ten with Kylie Banks and Mariah Poehler. Those 2 bats have been hot all season for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, Mariah has 108 at-bats coming into this series and is batting over 600. So that's a lot of at-bats to still keep your average above that. And yesterday she was the only run on the board. She scored a double, or she got a double and then was able to score off of being on base, but she's kind of a threat when you get her on base, and so that's one person you have to look out for as a huge offensive production. And you said Chloe Banks, she's batting over 400 as well, and you said it correctly. The top of the lineup is their heaviest, and then when you get towards the bottom, that's when people are starting to bat 180s kind of. So
it just makes things so hard.
Yeah.
There's just not enough continuity. You may get a few runners on base, but there's not as many RBIs. Just makes it way harder to run an offense. And speaking of the Boilermaker offense, we're going to hop right into some action here. Chloe Banks, speak, and you shall see. She's hitting, starting so far today. First pitch she's going to see is be fouled straight back. Chloe Banks, a slapper, so she's going to start in the back of the box, kind of make her way up as the pitch is delivered. Second pitch is a ball outside.
Yeah, when I was a softball player, I could never slap. I was a righty, but I tried that left-handed slap, and I was like, I don't even know how you're able to keep your eye on the ball and still hit it.
It is definitely hard to pick up. Third pitch, the 1-1, is going to be fouled into the right side. Now 1-2. See if she can change her approach and get one between the foul lines after fouling 2 straight back. From the left-hand side, we have a ground ball to the second baseman who's going to throw. The throw gets away from the first baseman. Banks to the second. She'll slide in safely. And a lead-off single reached on an error turns it into a double as the Boilermakers get off to a hot start today.
Yeah, that was Indiana Langford there. She was able to get that ball on the hop, but then she tried to throw on a run and just kind of went wide of Erin Hoehn, who's playing first right now. And, Indiana Langford struggled a little bit yesterday. Also, the only error on the board.
First pitch is going to be a ball low as Gabby Ellis tries to get through this first inning without letting one run come across. Obviously, as a starting pitcher, you want to get a 0 up on the board before anything else happens. But we'll have a 1-0 count here. Stop play for a second, but we'll get right back into action. Now at the plate, Mariah Poehler, the left fielder, also from the left side. She'll put a foul ball down the left field line to get to a 1-1 count. As we were talking about, just a tremendous hitter. Another slapper who's going to hit for average, but just a little bit more than that for Poehler.
Yeah, last year she was all Big Ten, and there's a reason for it.
The 1-1 is going to dot the outside corner for a called strike. 1-2 count now as Ellis tries to navigate around an extremely dangerous hitter.
Yeah, that's the goal, especially with the slap hitters. You're going to want to hit the outside so it goes right to your third baseman or your shortstop.
The 1-2 just a bit outside. Going to push the count to 2-2 now, but another pitch to the outside corner trying to get her to extend the strike zone.
Yeah, that's going to be either a screwball or just an outside fastball. Can even try to get her to chase on a rise ball.
2-2. It's going to be a changeup right back to Ellis. She'll fire to first for the putout. But the runner does advance to third. Banks now standing 60 feet away from a run. Once again, just a ball slapped right back up the middle to Ellis. Threw over to Hoehn for the first putout. Now 1 out on the board as Anna Moore comes into the box. Second baseman again hitting from the left side. She'll take a ball low to start off her at-bat. So far hitting .384 on the season. But the number that Purdue is really looking at so far is RBIs. She has 34 so far, so prolific at getting runs across, especially what they're looking for here. She'll take another ball low to push the count to 2-0.
Yeah, Anna Moore's, she's a threat, and I can see that they're trying to hit low in the zone with drop balls or drop curves.
Ellis is going to hit the outside corner here on the 2-0 pitch to push the count in 2-1. Infield creeping in, try to keep that run from coming across. Ellis navigating the zone. Another ball outside. It's going to push the count to 3-1. Dangerous position here. Don't want a second base runner in the first inning. Ellis toasts the rubber again. She'll deliver. Oh, a dangerous spot right off the zone. A little bit lower than what home plate umpire is looking for. And that'll be a 5-pitch walk. Purdue now first and third with Moore and Banks on base.
Yeah, that was pretty close to the zone, but obviously ruled a ball.
Haley Painter now comes up to the plate. Designated player. She'll take a rise ball high for the first ball of the at-bat. Now's kind of when we start to see the average drop a little bit. She's still hitting 307 on the season. But Haley Painter will square to bunt. She'll go through. Double steal attempt will happen here for the Boilermakers. Runner does advance to second. Kept at third is Banks.
Yeah, we had 2 first to third situations going on. A fake bunt from Haley Painter in the box, and then Lilly Vallimont behind the plate decided to throw it to Indiana Langford, who cut in between the circle and second base. First and third situation, but couldn't get the tag at third.
1-1, the count will be fouled back. Now pushed to 1-2 with 1 out. Runners on second and third is Haley Painter, the designated player from Antioch, California.
She's one of those transfers that the Boilermakers brought in. Huge bat, red-shirted her freshman year.
The 1-2 pitch will clip the inside corner for strike 3 as Gabby Ellis collects the second out of the inning on a ball that froze Painter on the inside corner. Now stepping up to the plate is Bella Douglas, first baseman from Howell, Utah. She'll try to collect some runs. The first pitch is a strike on the outside corner, a changeup that froze Douglas for the first pitch. Bit of a get-me-over, but you'll take what you can get for the first pitch of a 2-out at-bat. Once again, second and third for the Boilermakers. Ellis and Douglas. The second pitch is fouled back. Came back with the heater. Not quite on time. Count is quickly 0-2. With 2 outs here. Ellis trying to get out of a bit of a jam here in the first inning.
Yeah, this is where if you're the Wolverines, you're only focusing on that batter. You only need 1 more out, so either get her out at first or in the box.
0-2 pitch is high and away. Bit of a non-competitive pitch there on the rise ball. Maybe setting up a changeup here, but we'll go 1-2, 2 outs. Ellis will deliver. And that one's flared out down the left field line. It's going to fall foul. Bit of an excuse me check swing there from Bella Douglas. Just staying alive, though. Throw the hands out, throw the barrel, and stay alive for a better pitch coming here on the second 1-2 pitch of the at-bat. Is a little bit low. Tried to get a bit of a frame job there. Did Lilly Vallimont, but it's not going to be enough. Count now pushes to 2-2.
A tighter zone that Gabby Ellis is having to work with right here.
She'll deliver a changeup to the outside corner, but is not swung at. So we'll push to a full count here.
Bella Douglas having insane discipline at the plate. Doing a really good job at, picking her pitches.
The payoff pitch is fouled back again. Bit of a better swing there. With a 2-strike approach, getting your stance a little bit wider, slowing the hands down a little bit. Really just focusing on staying alive in the plate.
Yeah, great swing, just right underneath the pitch, fouled it backwards.
3-2. And that's going to be a pop fly. Camped under it is Lauren Putz. She'll put it away for the third out of the inning. And the Wolverines get out of a bit of a jam in the first. Runners on second and third are not cashed in. And Purdue will head to the bottom of the first inning with a 0-0 ball game still. See if Michigan can put a few on the board.
Yeah, the Wolverines did a really good job at, focusing on that batter when there was 2 outs and you have somebody on third and second. You got to force out at first, or you could just get her out at the plate, and that's all you have to focus on. And they did a really good job at just making sure to go at her. Gabby Ellis getting out of that jam, like you said, not worrying about the girls on base.
Yeah, it's always so tough. You're in that circle. You're about 20 feet away from some of your closest friends, but it still might be the loneliest place on earth. You get a few runners on, and brain starts going on overdrive. Sometimes you just need a second. Maybe it's one at bat. Maybe it's one pitch where you finally hit your spot. You're dotting up, and that gives you the kind of the peace of mind, the wherewithal to then attack the next hitter, attack the next player, and really deliver the at-bat you're wanting.
Yeah. And you had that one error on the board by Indiana Langford at second. She got a great, read on that hop. It was slap hit that ended up going to second,
yeah.
Which is interesting. But a slap hit that went to second. She got a good read on the hop, but just a bad throw on a run. And, it was, I believe, Chloe Banks, yes, who was able to take advantage of a second base there and get to second.
Well, Indiana Langford will come up to the plate to face Bree Fontenot, a freshman from Kinder, Louisiana. First pitch to Indiana Langford is a strike. Interesting call there. Langford on the 0-1 will have a ground ball to shortstop, but she's just too quick. She legs out an infield single. Perfect execution of a slap hit, almost like a swinging bunt. Crazy slow off the bat. But that is right into Langford's wheelhouse as she's able to use her wheels to get to first to give Michigan a leadoff single. And Jenissa Conway comes up to the plate with runners on. Pushing the pace here is the Wolverines. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Langford, a very capable runner. See if Delaney Reef can keep her at first base.
Yeah, Indiana Langford 6 for 7 on stolen bases and attempts this season.
The 0-1 is another strike to the outside corner. A bit of a power change there. Will clip the outside corner and quickly move Jenissa Conway to 0-2.
Yeah, Jenissa Conway, she's not one to, be down in the count and let it affect her at bat.
The 0-2 is fouled back to the left side over the stands. Good swing there to stay alive. This will push to a second 0-2 count.
I've always said I really like how Michigan forms their order. You have Indiana Langford, the fastest one on the team, and then Jenissa Conway, such a power hitter right after her.
Another pitch fouled right back. Once again, Conway just staying alive here, the junior from Olivehurst, California. She has been one of the most productive hitters for the Wolverines so far this season, hitting .413 on the season. But the key thing to tie in are those 6 triples. Leads the NCAA in triples, as the next 0-2 will be flared out to shallow center field. Shortstop Campbell ranging back will collect and put it away for the first out of the inning. Not much going. Bit of another excuse me swing from Conway. It'll pop up.
I mean, that was the same exact spot and hit she had yesterday at her first at bat, and then kind of came back around with a home run. So she's one to, see that and learn from it and not let it happen again.
Yes. Lauren Butts now stepping into the box. She's going to take a first pitch ball, a little change up low in the zone. 5'7" sophomore, swinging from the left side again, but not a slap hitter, more of a power bat. As this next pitch will go all the way back to the backstop, Langford will make it to second easily, standing stolen base on a wild pitch. Now moves the count to 2-0. Lauren Putz now with a runner in scoring position, see if she can scratch one across. That being said, Fontenot comes right back into the zone for a 2-1 pitch. Strike fastball on the outside corner. Fontenot delivers again. Just low fastball will move the count to 3-1. Great eye from Putz there to push the count.
Yeah, Putz had a double yesterday. I mean, her and Jenissa Conway have been killing it.
Oh, and this ball's lined out to center field. Langford will reach third, but that ball just had too much heat on it to score. Just an absolute missile right back up the middle. Fontenot had no chance of stopping it. One-hopped it to the center fielder. One of those unfortunate times where hit the ball so well you can't actually score the runner, but Michigan will definitely take that. Now 2 runners on base with 1 out in the inning. Now stepping up to the plate, Erin Hoehn. She'll have a little ground ball to the third baseman. That'll be enough to move the runner to second, but will not let Langford score. So now Michigan in the same position Purdue is in the last half inning with runners on second and third and 2 outs.
Yeah, Hoehn had a really bad contact with that ball, kind of hit on the handle of the bat a little bit and just kind of dribbled all the way to third, but moves people over, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah, up on the hands as Stevenson now comes into the plate. She'll take an 0-0 changeup for a strike. Now moves to 0-1. 5'9" righty junior. Still hitting .244 on the season. Bit more.
She was an RBI queen last year. I remember anytime she was up at bat, I was like, whoever's on base is probably coming home at some point, whether it was, a sacrifice hit or, she got a double or something like that. Right now she has 15 RBIs on the season, 18 RBIs on the season, excuse me. So, starting to get more of that production and a really good position for her to be in with a runner on second and third.
The 1-1 pitch here is fouled down the right field line. That'll reach the stands, be out of play and out of danger. Hopefully Stevenson can channel some of that RBI magic again in this at-bat. Count quickly to 1-2. I will say for Fontenot, she works very fast. And she is very aggressive. A lot of first pitch strikes, a lot of good counts, good pitcher's counts. The 0-2-1-2 pitch is fouled right up to the press box here, bounced off the window right in front of us. A bit of caffeine here in the morning is that pitch. 1-2 count again. 2 foul balls. Fontenot not really having a put-away pitch so far today. The 1-2 delivered again. Another pitch fouled back, right back up to the press box. A lot of souvenirs being handed out so far today. A lot of foul balls reaching the stands.
Yeah, great at bat here for Ella Stevenson, just fouling off the ones that, maybe aren't hers. Just kind of getting underneath it. Obviously, that's why it's popping up and back so high to the press box.
This ball is flared out to center field. Second baseman ranging back, but it'll be taken by the center fielder, Chloe Banks, for the put away. Bit of a no man's land ball there. But Purdue gets underneath it and will put it away. Still scoreless after 1 is this matchup here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, every strong hit that happened at bat for the Wolverines just in that inning, most of the Wolverines kind of got underneath it. You had Jenissa Conway with her pop-up and then Ella Stevenson with her pop-up. So, they're just not really getting good contact with the ball. Erin Hoehn with the kind of dribbler to third. Yeah, all that is just keeping your eye on the ball and making sure that it's put in contact with the part of the bat that you want it to.
Yeah, Fontenot has been an interesting pitcher so far for Boilermakers. 60 innings on the year, but the stat that like really speaks out to me is these 33 walks to 28 strikeouts. So you're looking at that stat line, and you're saying maybe not quite yet developed a put-away pitch. Still as a freshman, looking for a pitch to really put hitters away. If you're averaging more walks than strikeouts, you're not exactly in the place you want to be as a pitcher, but a lot of time left to go and a lot of induced weak contact, which is more important than anything as a pitcher. That's really what you're looking for, because it gets you outs quicker. You know, you only need one pitch to induce weak contact, 3 pitches for a strikeout.
Yeah, and the collective batting average against her is 320. And again, anything above a 300 is great. So that just means people are able, you know, to hit her pitches, and maybe it just needs more of a spin on it.
Mm-hmm. Now Ashlyn Campbell, the shortstop, will step in as Gabby Ellis returns for her second inning of work today. First pitch, ball outside. Ellis returning to the circle. Solid first inning after an interesting start. Second pitch is another ball outside. Campbell steps in for her first at-bat of the game so far this season, hitting .432, which is stellar numbers, but not as many at-bats as a lot of her teammates. Only 44 so far, so a little of a smaller sample size. However, she has quickly worked the count to 3-0. The 3-0 pitch is delivered here, and a 4-pitch walk for Ashlyn Campbell off Gabby Ellis. For the second straight inning, Campbell has allowed a first at-bat base runner. Not exactly what you want to do. First at-bat walks score about 30% of the time. But coming in to the box is Delaney Reef, the backstop for the Boilermakers. She'll take a first pitch ball as well. So 5 balls in a row here for Gabby Ellis. See if she can come back into the zone on the 1-0. And she does. Right down the middle, right down Broadway is the 1-0. Now moves the count to 1-1.
Yeah, Delaney, another transfer. She transferred in after her freshman year from Maryland, and then has been with the Boilermakers for the last 2 seasons.
She'll square to bunt on the 1-1. Fielded cleanly by Gabby Ellis. She'll throw to Indiana Langford, covering at first for the first out of the inning. Does move the runner to second. Does the job. Now runners in scoring position for this bottom half of the order. Maura Condon, the right fielder from Ottawa, Illinois, with a runner on second base. First pitch is a ball low. Big lead for the runner on second, trying to elicit a throw, but will not get anything from Lilly Vallimont. Now 1-0 with 1 out here in the top of the second. Maura Condon will foul one. A dribbler right back. Fielded cleanly by Vallimont, but just a bit foul. I'm going to try to get a new ball here, see if that one was a little bit scraped up.
Yeah, as a catcher, I was always, hey, is this ball good? You need a new one. Like trading out balls, because nothing is nicer to pitch with and even to throw with than a clean new ball. I love it.
I was the exact opposite. Oh, this ball is lined out to center field, camped underneath it. For the grab is Jenissa Conway. She'll get the ball right back in. 2 gone here in the bottom of the inning. Sorry, the top of the inning. I was always the exact opposite. I wanted some scuffs. I wanted some scratches. Makes the curveball move a little bit more. Ellis will come back now with 2 outs in the inning to face off against Kylie Franks, the third baseman. So far hitting 190 on the season. Hope for a hit here. Now another strike here, 0-2 the count. 2 outs here in the inning. Kylie Franks will try to extend it against Gabby Ellis. She's trying to get Michigan back in the dugout. This will be lined through the 5-6 hole into left field. Ball coming home. She's going to be safe at home. Purdue takes a 1-0 lead on a ground ball through the 5-6 hole to the left fielder, Ellis Stevenson, who just does not have enough to get the out at home. Bang, bang play at home plate, but some speed from Abby Campbell is enough to get the run across. A dribbler seeing eye single for the bottom of the order, and Franks, who's now standing on second base as Chloe Franks, the 420 hitter, 1-1 so far today, steps in. She'll take a ball on the outside corner for ball 1. Michigan now shook a little bit after a second productive offensive inning. Finally cashes one home for the Boilermakers. They'll try to keep the inning alive as Michigan attempts to get back into the dugout here. That ground ball just past the outstretched glove of both Maddie Erickson and Stevenson. Chloe Banks with a 1-1 count here.
Yeah, they were only scored 9 points in the first quarter, and in the second and third quarter outscored them like 50-12. It's crazy.
Are we live? Because why is it showing? It's just chilling. Okay, hold on.
Ah!
Yeah, I think this is not yours because I didn't have the inning up and inning down thing. So maybe it's like coming back to life. I don't know.
Well,
We had 4.